So, Alex, when I say the word clown, what do you think of?
I think of Pennywise and that serial killer dude from a long time ago.
Exactly. You think of the scary stuff like John Wayne Gacy and Pennywise. But remember the clown sightings that terrorized us right here in South Carolina, even in little old Whitmire?
Oh God, yes. I remember some kids were saying that they seen one on the railroad tracks when they were on the school bus.
That's so freaking scary. I mean, clowns are supposed to bring joy and make us laugh, but honestly, they strike terror in my heart, and to be honest, they make me kind of want to pee my pants a little bit. I remember back in around like 1985, in that movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the clown that was where he had changed his bike was doing that evil laugh. That it was creepy, okay? It was when Pee-wee came out of that. I think he had been in the bike shop, but I'm not sure, and he found his bike missing. Well, it seriously freaked me out, and I was like 13 years old, and I couldn't sleep that night. But the funny thing is I believe they meant for Large Marge, that truck driver lady, to be scary. She didn't even scare me. It was the clown that scared me. Well, the thing that we're talking about today is clowns, clown sightings, and all of that.
Mystery, murder, and heroes.
So the year was 2016, and it was around the time that the It remake was about to be released, I believe. I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all right now, this is a little spoiler alert, but fortunately I never witnessed any of the clown sightings that took place. It was probably because I was too afraid to leave the house. Now, a lot of the sightings that took place were in the Greenville County area, and for some reason around the apartment complexes. Why it was happening so often there is beyond me, but who knows what was going on. In a few sightings, a group of children kept telling adults that there were a couple of clowns at the edge of the woods trying to lure them to follow them. Now, this isn't something that just was an urban legend being passed around. This is straight from a report that was taken by the Greenville County Sheriff's Office. Not only were these clowns terrorizing kids, they were frightening adults too. Now, here's another creep factor for this story. There's a man-made trail that starts at the edge of the woods where this group of clowns were being seen. This trail winds around through the woods to a pond, and close to that pond is an old abandoned house. Of course, there's an old abandoned house. I mean, what story would not be complete without an old abandoned house? The kids say that the clowns occupied that house. Now, the police, they did go in and they searched the house, but they didn't find any evidence or clown paraphernalia. But I honestly think that if I was a clown trying to frighten kids or lure them to my abandoned house, I wouldn't leave my rubber nose or big old clown shoes laying around for the cops to find.
That makes it sound way too real.
I know, right? I mean, it's one thing to hear someone say that they heard it was happening, but apparently an adult thought that this was serious enough to get law enforcement involved. And I mean, with so many pedophiles and kidnappers these days, you have to take everything serious because you never know what could happen. Now, one of the moms that made a report said that her son had seen clowns in the woods whispering and making strange sounds. Her son took her into the woods where he had seen them, and they were still there. Now, they flashed green laser lights before they even ran away. Around the same time that she and her son were in the woods, her older son, who was still back in their apartment, heard chains and banging on their front door. In another story, a woman said that late one night she was walking home. She saw a large clown. Now, I don't know if she meant large and as he was a chubby clown or a tall clown, but anyway, this clown had a blinking nose, and he was standing under the street light he was under the street light near a dumpster. Alex, he freaking waved at her. Now, y'all, that is exactly where you have found me dead. But get this, she waved back at him, okay? But here's where it gets even creepier.
Oh, God, please no.
Yeah,
No,
you know, I gotta make it creepier. A teenage girl told police that she saw a man taking pictures of kids. And then shortly after that, she saw a man wearing a black jacket and a clown mask coming out of the woods. Now, that's just creepy as hell, somebody standing there taking pictures of other people's kids. And yet another clown sighting that was seen. A clown was seen leaving in a car before the police arrived on the scene. The worst part is police could never confirm these sightings because of a lack of evidence. But in the areas that these clowns had been seen, extra deputies were put on duty to help keep an eye on things. But the sightings didn't stop in Greenville County when more police officers started patrolling the area. More sightings started taking place in other areas of the county and at different apartment complexes. So after all these sightings in Greenville County, word started getting around they were being spotted in other places like North Carolina, the low country of South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, even Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and New York.
Damn, really?
Yeah. On a Tuesday night, I don't know what the date was, but it was a Tuesday night in October 2016. A 22-year-old woman was walking her dog near an apartment complex.
What's with these clowns in apartment complex?
Dude, apartment.
Yeah, that word. It's a good word.
Yeah, it's a hard word to say, huh? Now, dude, I don't know, because it just... Probably a coincidence, who knows. But anyway, she was walking her dog near an apartment complex in Charleston. And she saw a dark figure wearing an evil clown mask, dark clothing, and a hood. He was about 50 feet away from her, and he had a knife. Apparently, she was a student at Charleston Southern University. But she told police when he came towards her, she ran to a friend's apartment and called 911. She described the clown as possibly being around 17 years old, 5'10", and 160 pounds. She couldn't tell the race or gender because of how the clown was dressed. But honestly, if she couldn't tell the race or gender, I'm not sure how she thought he was around 17, but I guess she had her reasons. When the police came, they couldn't find the clown, but because of this incident, the university sent out an alert to all students and staff telling them that if they had to be out and about, walking or whatever, go with a friend. Don't go anywhere alone. Shortly after the sightings in Greenville County, Greensboro, North Carolina police received a call about a person wearing a clown mask, red curly wig, a yellow dotted shirt, blue clown pants. God, why is that so hard to say? Blue clown pants and clown shoes leaving the woods. I spit on myself when I said that. In this case, several citizens, golly, I need a nap. In this case, several citizens took matters into their own hands and chased after the clown with machetes. Alex. Can you just picture it in your head, Alex? This group of people running after clowns, but they got machetes like freaking Jason.
I don't want to imagine that. That's the thing. I don't want.
But it kind of gives you like a funny visual, Now that clown ran back into the woods. The next day, a 17-year-old girl on her way to a Greensboro school spotted a clown walking through the woods and called authorities. According to authorities, sorry, allergies are bad today. According to authorities, that was the 8th suspicious report since August the 20th. And in all these sightings that were reported, police weren't able to find the suspected clown or clowns. Now, there's one other one from South Carolina that I thought was particularly interesting, and it took place in Lexington. Police responded around 6 p.m. on that day that it was reported about a suspicious person at yet another apartment complex. Kids told police that they saw either a silver or gold SUV with no license plates that was occupied by two people. One was dressed as a clown and the other was dressed as a bear. Rawr. You'll float too. One of the kids said that the one that was dressed as a clown got out of the vehicle and tried to talk to him. But another one of the kids said that no one got out of the car. So there was some inconsistencies. And even though there was those inconsistencies in the kids' stories, police still warned citizens to remain vigilant, take pictures, and call 911 if they see anything suspicious going on. So after all these sightings took place in early October of that year, a threat was made on social media that clowns were going to purge cities across the country on Halloween Eve. And guess what city was on the list? Greenville, of course. Now, a lot of people didn't take it seriously. I mean, you know, that sounds ridiculous. But others were a little weary, so they took precautions. Target stores pulled clown masks off the shelves, and even McDonald's limited the amount of appearances by Ronald McDonald. But get this, places like Halloween Express and Spirit Halloween reported that clown masks were selling quickly.
You would think that because we live in an era of great technology and cell phone cameras being much better than they used to be, so someone would have captured a video or at least a picture of one of these clowns.
I know. I mean, everybody's always got a cell phone on them, and you know, you would think that somebody would have, but then finally someone in West Virginia did finally get a picture of one. This one was taken standing on the side of a rural road about 2 hours south of Charleston, West Virginia. Now, Alex, picture you're going down an old deserted country road, middle of the night, and your headlights hit a freaking clown standing on the side of the road. What would you do?
My first instinct, I'm gonna back up. I am not gonna mess with that clown at all.
I know. I would just have to, like, either gun the gas or hit the reverse, you know. A deputy from that area said that they weren't sure if they were just trying to scare people or what their purpose was. And they tried to determine where the photo originated, but basically someone posted it to social media and it went viral. So I'm sure that made tracking down the origin of the photo nearly impossible. And that same deputy also said that he really believed that the whole thing was a hoax or prank.
So were these clowns just super smooth and got away before police could get there, or all of these sightings just hoaxes?
In my honest opinion, Alex, I think it could have been a little of both. Because maybe one or two were legit sightings, and then for whatever reason people joined the craze and started saying they were seeing clowns. Maybe they were trying to scare their friends and family. I don't know. And another thought I've had was, like I said earlier, this was about the time, or around the time that the It movie was about to be released. So maybe some of them could have been like publicity stunts, especially the ones that were spotted on the side of the road or on streets. Now, not really the ones coming out of the woods. I feel like these were copycats, if they even really were seen. Now, I'm not calling anybody a liar. I'm just speculating of what could have been the reason or why all this was happening. I'm just going to say I'm glad I never saw one. Now, those kids that you were talking about, that saw them when they were on the school bus, was it on your school bus?
It was a different school bus, but I do remember them talking about it. I'm just glad it wasn't my bus, because I would have made a whole new emergency door from where I was sitting at.
I bet you would have. So what you're saying is you're not down with the clown, and I don't blame you. Well, y'all, that's all we have for today. But I want to know, have you seen these random clowns, like where you live while you're out and about? We want to hear all about it. Shoot us an email at 3mpodcast3@gmail.com, or you can leave us a comment on a post that I'm going to have up about this episode on our Facebook page, and you can find that Facebook page by going to facebook.com/3mpodcast.